You don't say like this. You don't say like this. Now you have become very much experienced person.
Ask Sunita. Ask Sunita. She knows me inside out. I can say.
I think this is the reason
Yes.
I resonate myself very well with you, Neha.
Uh-huh.
We sail in the same boat.
Yes,
And I'm
actually.
also in. Take
No,
me
no, no,
in.
no, 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 no. Not agreeable.
Why? No entry for me.
No, no, no. You are a speaker of different level.
Sunita.
Exaggeration.
No, it's not
No, no, no,
exaggeration.
no.
It's the truth behind the actual picture. It's a
I'm
fact.
on board. I'm on board with
Because
whatever ma'am said.
Sunita,
Truly.
I have been in
Mm.
teaching for more than 30 years, and I have been on both the sides of the table. So I have come across thousands of teachers and hundreds and hundreds of faculty members. Like,
Mhm.
and at the same time, some of my subordinates also, like clerical staff and staff of every level. And that way, I have experienced every kind of experience as well, you may say. I think when I was trying or I was working on my communication skill, I was alone, totally alone. There was no one with whom I could share what is going inside me, or and it has been my experience in because I have worked in so many colleges, so many, not one. It's not a kind of like people they join one institution, they get the retirement from the same institution. My journey has not been like that. I have worked as a professor in so many colleges. Like before marriage, I was in some other city. After marriage, I moved to this city. Then, when I became the head of the institution, during that, my tenure of 11 or 12 years, I have worked in very renowned institutions. And people consider me very good speaker. But you see, it is your inner core where the actual reality lies. And I have seen the people from the faculty of English department, they would come to the office and they would talk in Punjabi. You understand it? That had been my journey in that kind of. So is that's why I am reluctant all the time. Then I forget what are the credentials actually I'm having in my bucket because it has no lena dena with my credentials. In fact, it is a skill, and I'm just at a very preliminary stage. You can say some child of LKG standard, and you are the head of the institution.
Okay, since your journey is very inspiring and something that we can talk about, so let's do it in today's session. Let's talk about your
Hmm.
journey today. Why
Yes.
your life is so
No,
Right.
interesting.
we actually, today it was not planned to talk about the civic sense. The topic I changed
hmm
because I thought that is not lucky for me.
Okay, I was not aware.
So, okay. It is about the social obligations. Just
Social
give a
Okay.
minute to yourself,
hmm
let your mind work on it, and you would find it very much interesting. So far as my
hmm
story is concerned, that we can discuss in bits and parts in whenever we are going, we'll be meeting, so that we can do that there also.
Ma'am, can you set a plot because I'm not aware what can we talk about?
So much of the duties we perform on everyday basis, which from the inner core we
hmm
don't want to actually, but we
Okay.
have to. So this is all
hmm
about that thing. So like you go to visit to somebody who is sick, you are going to the hospital to see that person, but actually you don't want to. You don't have time, maybe as per your own priorities. So many things
hmm
they stay back at the back end, but you have to. Then to you are to go to attend some birthday party or some wedding, which you feel you are not prepared for. Maybe
hmm
again you have so much of the stuff to look at in your own family, but you have to. So these are a
Yes.
social. This is the main crux of the topic: social obligations.
Yes. Interesting,
Okay.
interesting.
So let's begin with you, Sunita ji. Now you are aware of
hmm
the topic itself.
hmm
How do you take social obligations? You do okay. I just would like to twist this question. Do you feel that these social obligations they are burdensome or they strengthen our bonds?
I'm sitting on the fence on this particular question because, yes, first of all, you don't want to get into it, but because of the social obligation, you have to follow the social practices. But at the same time, when you do that, it helps you maintain the bond with the society, of obviously, because these social obligations are made with a purpose, and the purpose is to live happily in a society, or to care for each other, or to share responsibilities. So they are made in that way. So definitely it works the both way. And I would say when it comes to social obligation, I feel that marriage is the biggest social obligation, and then to have kids.
Nice.
This comes to my mind when you said
And
social obligations.
majority of our social responsibilities, they revolve around it.
Right, right. So that's the first step in that
Yeah.
social obligation world.
And we happily we get ready for it.
Not
Step
happily.
in.
Like we cannot generalize it that everybody happily enters into that marriage world. But
Mm.
yes, it's definitely an obligation. Sometimes you get happy when you get this news that you are going to get married. You get so happy. You feel like you are starting a new phase of your life.
Mm.
But maybe later on, you might have some kind of experiences where you feel this marriage life more of a responsibility or more of a burden than a joy.
Mm.
Then it
True.
becomes more of an obligation. You don't enjoy that life anymore.
That's true. I agree with
Hmm.
you. And what about you, Neha?
What I have to say, social obligations or responsibility, I would say that the rent we pay for living in society,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
Kind of, we can go with that, right? Because it's social obligation is not always about following certain rules. No?
Mm.
It's about one's bit towards the community. So when we have this idea, I guess we can participate nicely in certain things without burden, without pressurizing ourselves. Okay, I'm not talking about marriage or anything, but I'm just talking about general things. Let's say I am busy with my classes, someone comes to me and that person needs my help. So, okay, nice. I take it as again a rent for living in society because we need to be social. If we want to survive in this society, we can't be isolated or selfish. This is my point of view. So for me, social obligation or social responsibility, I enjoy actually to some extent. Yes, but yes, I don't want anyone to take advantage of it. And I'm the person who never look up to other people to go for any changes, any reforms. I don't believe in preaching. I believe that be the change you wish to see.
Mhm.
So this is something that comes to my mind when I come across this word, social obligation or responsibilities. This term has a very negative side. If I talk about today's world, people don't want to go for responsibilities. So social obligation, I don't know it exists for some people or not. It's all about their rights, facilities, amenities. They talk about basic amenities, but they forget that there is a set of duties also which they need to follow. Okay, so that's something I want to add.
So that way, I think it's not, you don't take it as a responsibility. You enjoy your responsibilities otherwise. Because
I think
actually, when I agree with you that when this word comes in our mind, social responsibilities, it reflects more of its negativity as compared to its positive aspect, isn't it? Because it's my responsibility whether I wish to or I don't wish. But as per your own version, you enjoy performing most of these kinds of responsibilities. That's a
right.
great thing.
Actually, I want to be available for my society. As I mentioned, to some extent, I don't know, but yes, if I am available, I will never take that step back. That's for sure. Though I'm so sorry. Just give me a moment.
Mm. Sushmita had joined Welcome, Sushmita.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you,
Hello.
ma'am.
How has your
Hello.
day been so far?
Yeah, it's been going on well, ma'am. So far, so good. Thank you so much for
Great,
your kind
great,
concern.
good. Are you aware of the topic? Today's topic? We
Yeah,
are up.
yes,
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And should I switch over this question, Neha, to Sushmita also? You were saying
I just
something.
want to
You were
I
in the
just want
middle
to
of.
sum up.
Okay.
I just want to sum up that as per my point of view, when you help others in a way, you are, or when we help others, we are strengthening our community. That's what exactly social responsibility stands for me. This is my version. Okay,
Mm.
and this I am taking it as my obligation. I know people have nothing to do with, most of the time, most of people have nothing to do with it, because for them it's all about their rights, which they look for. And you know what, ma'am, when I don't know where I am taking this context or
Conversation.
topic, right?
Mm.
But truly, social obligation is, as a citizen, I take my responsibility with all my heart. Okay, I try to be a good citizen. I don't expect anything from anyone. If my neighbor is not cleaning the outside area or the common area, I never go and knock his door that why don't you clean your this common area. I am the one who take this initiative. I clean all the common area, and I don't think so that I am a kind of great or mahan kind of person. But yes, that's what I do, and this is exactly social obligation for me.
Mm. Okay. So, Sushmita, what is your take on
Yeah.
it? These are some unspoken kind of rules which society has made for us, which we are supposed to follow. And what is
Okay.
your take on it?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. I totally agree with Neha, ma'am. Whatever she spoke, I could listen little bit, but yes, whatever she spoke, it's totally right, and I also do agree with.
Mm.
We have some kind of responsibility toward our society, our surrounding. So definitely, we have to follow as a human being because
Mm.
we are well educated, so we understand what is right and what is wrong. So we should follow some kind of rule and regulation as a being part of society. So, in my according, like ma'am already mentioned, that's cleaning outside and not argue with the neighbors for silly things. This is also our humanity, right? So, according to me, like suppose if something needy people in our society, if we are well enough to help them, so that is the our responsibility to help them. So they also can get some or the other benefit for from our side, so they also felt pleased and thankful toward. And so helping others, I feel this is the main responsibility as a human being. I love to help others. So, and there are lots of things apart from, if I talk about responsibility, giving votes, choose the right person for our country, and do the all the things for our country, like donation, uh, like this anath ashram, old age people, and child anath ashram. So whatever we can do, whatever we have capacity, we should provide them. So that is my take on this point of view. Thank you, ma'am.
I guess our topic has taken a different turn because we have come at the
Okay.
level where we are talking about the responsibilities and which we expect every Indian or every human being should do. As a good person, we should do.
True.
Do you find any such duty like which you don't want to perform? Actually, that is obligation. Obligation which we when we don't want to do. It's not we
Mm,
should do. I think we are a
Hmm.
bit diverting from the actual topic. It's a good thing that we are performing. And if you ask me, I'm having a number of examples with me to quote for the same thing. Like, yes, we should do, and I try to do. But just give a thought that some moment in the recent past or sometimes in your lifetime you might have come across when you did something which you actually didn't want to do. That is obligation. That is the
Okay.
exact meaning of the obligation. Yes, Neha.
Yes, I
Okay.
want to add here.
Mm.
I understand the meaning of this word. It's all about. I know that obligation means when you don't have any option. Okay. So my version of obligation is okay. I know that I don't have any option. Let's enjoy it. Let's do it to
Hmm.
some extent. Again, I will like to highlight here to some extent where I don't have to compromise with my dignity. Okay. And yes, there is a list of those things which I truly don't want to do. And it's not about society, it's about our family, the rituals, the customs we follow in the name of society or social norms. There is a list of those rules because I belong to a village, and when I visit my in-laws place, there are so many things which
Hmm.
I feel why people are doing this. How does this thing make any
Make
sense?
any sense?
But I try to give my best. I try to follow certain things, though I don't want to do them. But now I have started enjoying those things because it's all about when you don't have any option, just make it or break it,
Hmm.
right? I'm just using in a different perspective. But yes, ma'am, I can tell you hundreds of things which I really don't want to do, and I have started actually following certain things. I mean, I don't do those things. So that is, I know that is we are talking about. That is all about we're talking about. But my version of obligation when it comes to society or maybe to family. So, yes, I know I don't have any option. Let's do it. Fine. So, this is, I guess, one way to live your life,
Peacefully.
maybe
Hmm.
peacefully,
That's true.
right?
I
Right,
agree
that's
with
right.
you.
I remember.
Yes,
I can
Sunita.
also recall one example, something that is a social obligation for me. Like in villages, you're expected to bow down and touch the feet of elders, but sometimes some elders don't deserve that respect, actually. Some are characterless, some use foul
Hmm.
languages too. You don't want
Yes.
to give them that respect, but still you have to bow down and touch their feet and give them
Hmm.
all due respect, offer them tea or talk to them politely, invite them to your home or even visit their homes as well. So, the kind of atmosphere you get in village, you have to obey all the rules set by the society here, right? But you don't want to because you know the person inside out, you know that person doesn't deserve the respect that you are giving them.
Hmm.
So that's one thing I really don't like to follow, but I have to, being in a village.
Actually.
Sushmita,
Yes.
you want to add anything?
Yes, ma'am. So living in a village, I also can relate it because I was in a village. Now I shifted in a city area. So definitely we have to form, this kind of things. There is a formality we have to play with the near and dear person. Although we don't like, doesn't matter, but we have to show up as a we are liking and we are inviting them, and we are, welcoming them with the wholeheartedly. But so we know in and out them very properly that which kind of person they are, whatever what they have done for us. But we can't show them, right? Always we have to pretend like that we don't know anything. We don't know about them anything, but we know very well about them, but we have to pretend like this. It's a kind of formality we have to play, unwillingly we have to do this kind of things. So somehow it's a good, but somehow we are killing our emotions, our feeling. We always try to suppress our feeling emotion in front of them. We are not able to freely open in front of them, right? Whatever we are feeling, we are having for to them, we are not able to show up. We always have to pretend like we are happy, and whatever you have done, we don't know anything about it. So this kind of pretend we have to do. This is the formality, and somehow it's turned as a good when we understand to each other, when we know the reality. Sometimes it's happened by mistakenly as well, but when we get to know the reality, that time we feel apologize to ourselves. So it's okay to be pretend for some time. If goes out of the beer, so definitely we have to take action against it. So yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And suppose we are to make a list, like pros and cons. Let's take both the sides of the coin, not just a goody-goody stuff. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Sunita also, we all resonate with each other. In fact, she has hinted something, and I feel I have been on the same page at some point of time, what she wanted to convey, but I could guess it. If we are to make a list, okay, these are the pros and cons, suppose, because I want you people to come up with the negative side of it also. Your children, you are quite younger people, young ladies, your children, they are at this very moment, very small age, too young. You are the moms of young children. My children, they are grown up. And I have seen them passing through all these phases, seen them passing through these phases. Like when they were kids, so they didn't know anything. They were like going to any birthday party or going to any wedding was just a sort of enjoyment, playing with the other children, children of their aunts or friends, whatever. Like when they finally reached at their teenage, rather before reaching at the teenage, they stopped going outside. They said, we don't like to go outside. Why we have, and number of times we used to press upon them. You have to. It's important. That's your aunt. That, or my husband would say, we have to go. This is suppose my friend's son's birthday. And they would be. We used to drag them actually. In fact, with us. And what was would be the had been the consequences at that time? After coming back, the first thing they would do, they would just have a fierce fight with us. Why did you do it? They did, and they wouldn't enjoy it there. And finally, when they are now fully grown up, then they have stopped. You see, being a part of all these obligations, and sometimes I become very much scared of it because I'm a person who lives in the society. I'm a person who have seen my children grow up. Then I'm at this very moment when my children are not around. I'm living with my old parents also. So I'm that sandwich kind of generation, you may say. And I find it very scary. What is your take on it? Like sometimes I feel, I do agree that this is a good thing, though obligations it is a stuff which you don't want to, but you have to, right? But at the same time, it is having some negative effects also, right? But when I compare myself or my generations with my kids, then it presents a very scary picture of the future time, like they are slowly and gradually disconnecting from their friends in the sense like if there was a list of 20 friends, now it has diminished at 2 or 3 at the maximum. And similar is with their even first cousins also. That is presenting a very scary picture because they say we don't feel like. And one of these reasons I feel is that from the joint families, the concept of nuclear families, having one or two children, we have reached at that level. And this is the outcome of that. I would say the breaking down of the relationships. It is the way society is dragging, the way it is all because of happening due to the society. You are fortunate enough, like if you are living in the villages and still you are connected with your roots. But the picture is not goody goody in the cities. And if I'm living in the city, now my children, they have now flown abroad, where they are in a totally altogether different kind of culture. And sometimes I feel like we are still connected with our roots. Now, their coming generation, maybe at some point of time, they don't agree with any of our customs and traditions, and they will be totally cut off from all this. So that I find very scary. Though you are not in the same boat, but just imagine it. This picture I have just portrayed before you. Would you like to say something over it?
Yes, I would like to say something. Although we are not in the same boat, I think that we are walking on that path of yours, I must say. We are just coming behind you. That's so true because I can see whatever you have just said, I can see it around me. People are no more connected to each other. They don't feel like talking to each other. At some point in time, my father actually pushed me to talk to my cousins, pushed all of us, all my siblings, to talk to our cousins. And we did. I mean, unwillingly we did it, but now we are so good friends
Hmm.
and he's no more there, but still I would say by the I mean he would always push us to talk to my grandmother or talk to my uncles and aunts, and definitely for a reason, because he wanted to maintain that bond between the family, right? So that's the thing. So that is why it is a responsibility of elders to push your children